Yeah, tonight I'm going to do another Big Brother 23 video. Specifically, I'm going to focus on a contestant named Brendan French, otherwise known as Frenchy. Now, according to his Big Brother bio, some interesting facts about him is at 13 he won an NFL national punt, pass, and kick competition, and that he's prior military. But what really caught my eye about him is he's also a proud member of the NAACP, which is kind of unusual since he's a white man. And the NAACP aren't exactly a white friendly organization. But nevertheless, he was lucky enough to win head of household. It'd be the first head of household of season 23. And after securing his HOH spot, Frenchie made a promise that no woman or non white would be on the chopping block for the first week in an effort to break the show's history of doing so, particularly season 21. Now, I'm going to circle back to that later because this is it's relevant. But, anyways, back to the article. He was lauded for his statement, both by other players in the house and by fans. Now, again, I'm going to interject here. Other players in the house, particularly the Cookout Alliance, of course they would laud this because he was doing their bidding for them. And I guess the other two non-whites and the women probably didn't mind this either. But I can't imagine the white male players being too thrilled about this, or at least I hope not. But anyways, when it came time for Frenchy to choose his nominations, he pulled a 180, nominating Alyssa Lopez and Kylan Young, a young Hispanic woman and an African American man. Now, the article says a man and a woman of color, but I hate that term, people of color. It's such bullshit. But anyways, his decision had many fans fuming. Now, let's back up here. The reason why, which the article didn't mention, the reason why he had to nominate Kyle is because the white guy, Christian, who he wanted to nominate, won the wild card competition and gained safety. So he couldn't nominate him. And Alyssa was in a showmance with Christian. So that's why he nominated Alyssa. And Kyle was one of these big, strapping young guys who he promised he wanted to nominate, which in hindsight turned out to be a real stupid strategy on his part. Now, some of the fans commented that if Kylan or Alyssa goes home this week, which they didn't, I won't be letting this man forget it, one fan tweeted. His fake woke act is dangerous and harmful and goes way beyond the game. These two do not deserve to be jerked around on that level. Okay, well, how about these white guys that were put up, or the white guy that was backdoored, Travis Long? Did he deserve to be jerked around? Oh yeah, why? Again, it was a young white guy that went home during his HOH. So what the hell are these people complaining about? But I guess, oh yeah, and later on in the article it says French and Christian were saying that Derek X, Kylan, and Xavier were untrustworthy. And the person on Twitter writes, wonder what these people have in common. Well, I'll tell you what they have in common. They're all non-white. But so what? He said they're untrustworthy. Like, it's Big Brother, for God's sakes. Everyone in Big Brother, most of your competitors in Big Brother are untrustworthy on some level or another. Give me a break. But I guess the takeaway here is that if you're white and you try to appease the woke crowd or these anti-whites, that the minute you do something that they don't like, they turn on you. They call you fake woke. And that really nothing you ever, there's nothing you can do that'll ever be good enough for them. So stop trying to impress these people with your so-called wokeness, because you'll never be anti-white enough for their satisfaction. I hope Frenchy's learned that. Now, in contrast, I'll circle back to season 21 and talk about Jackson Mickey, uh, who had an alliance with his friend Jack and a few others. And in the first 3 weeks, they evicted 3 non-whites, 1, 2, and 3. A black man, a black woman, and a dark-skinned East Indian guy. And of course, they were crucified and heavily criticized for this, but they did so not because they had contempt for them or any BS like that. They voted them out and targeted them because they weren't part of their alliance. They weren't working with them. They weren't good for their game. So of course they voted them out. But the woke crowd didn't like that, of course. But unlike Frenchy, who was voted out in week 2, who in hindsight played a terrible game, Jackson Mickey went on to win his season. So he obviously did something right.